Thanks for staying with us. So we're pretty excited to have this our guests. This is one of the agencies in Nigeria that we just love to have a conversation. So last week, let me talk slowly so you can hear me. Last week, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, made the biggest drug recovery in Nigeria's history. The crack valued at 194 billion was recovered when the officials of the agencies busted a warehouse in where? Ikorodu here in Lagos State. Join us on the show now is Mr. Femi Babafemi, the spokesperson for the agency. Welcome, Mr. Babafemi, in the building.
Thank you. I feel like I feel so elated and excited being in the midst of beautiful women like this early this morning.
But we must first of all acknowledge the hard work of the man in charge. That's the Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired. He's the head of the NDLEA and has put together a team that have been able to do such amazing work in the last few years. Tell us about this most recent bust that you had, because we made the papers. We saw about 5 men being displayed. When it's valued, one of the first things people think, one or two of these things would escape, go back into the market. Somebody's going to make some money out of this. Tell us about the procedure from start to finish.
Now, let me start from that your conclusion or the suspicion or what some people think out there that with this volume, will some not escape into back to our communities again? I'd like to say this for the first time on this platform that by tomorrow, those drugs seized in Ikorodu will be out for public destruction.
Oh, wow.
Everything will go down. There's already a court order to that effect. So that would probably reassure those that have... And all of this will be witnessed by civil society, the media. It will be done openly in the presence of everybody.
Fantastic.
So, having said that, I'll go back to what led to this. Actually, this cartel is the Nigeria branch of an international syndicate that the agency has had its eyes on since 2018, but it's not been possible to track them down because, when you talk of international syndicate, these are people that operate across countries and continents, so they are usually on the move. And even by the time we smashed them in Lagos here, the kingpins were picked from different locations, and so they were actually shocked, taken aback when they saw our mayor at their doorsteps. I also like to acknowledge the fact that this was done with the technical support of our counterparts in the U.S., that's the Drug Enforcement Administration of the U.S., USDEA. We'll work together on this because when you talk of an international syndicate, you also need your partners across the world to be able to get information, track these people, and we're able to track them until last weekend when we traced them to the warehouse. I mean, it's when you get to you see the visuals of that place. Even the people in the neighborhood on the street. That's Olukunla Street in Solebo Estate, Ikorodu. They were amazed. Like the people, they were looking from their balconies. How would this exist in our community? Yes, they never believed that, and they actually, from their own words, they call the place Ghost House because it's a place they never. I mean, they've just been seeing people, and even if you look at the premises, it's overgrown with weeds and what have you, so very unkept environment. So you won't believe that volume of drugs in excess of almost, that's more than a quarter of, $1 billion. That's huge, to be found in that kind of a place. But then with the commitment, the passion of the leadership of the agency, for those of us that know General Mara very well, he gives his all when he has a mission, when he has a goal. And that's exactly what...
Get a few more questions in for you. Go ahead.
Yes. So, sir, as Mariah introduced you, we are very proud of the work you've done, but there'll always be questions. And one of the questions I've heard people say concerning this particular boss is, are these really the kingpins? They look like just normal guys. The kingpins are supposed to be big men somewhere in some offices. They are directing. These ones are just the errand boys.
That has always been the perception, public perception that, oh, they must be... Look, the people you see, they control billions because they are a member of an international syndicate. So you would not find them like the other man you were talking about in the social media or in parties. There are always people who go underground totally. They lie low to avoid scrutiny, security. Just imagine where that thing was kept in Ikorodu there. In a secluded estate where people would not even think such a thing exists. And look at the last time we also busted a meth lab in VGC,
Yes.
in Lekki. So all of this shows that these people, the modus operandi is to operate in a way that it will not raise suspicion, that will not raise, that they totally go off public scrutiny. So indeed, if there are more people, you would definitely, the agency will not spare anybody.
Right, okay.
So here's the worry for me. You know, these places, these are like hidden in plain sight. And they are neighborhoods. People are in that area. What can I see that would make me suspicious? And how do I inform NDLEA that I feel something is going on, especially for that meth lab? Because when the story came out, we now found out all the other side effects of having such a place close to other residential areas, and people didn't know. So what are the things that can make me spot that this thing is going on here, and how can I report it to NDLEA for?
Yeah, the red flags will always be there. One, when you see a compound always locked during the daytime, and in the night there are activities there. The lights are on, the systems are running.
So they are cultists.
Yeah, that's a red flag. That's something to make you to suspect something untoward is going on there. Beyond that, when you see the green, I'm talking of meth lab now, when you see the greens in the neighborhood going yellow, changing colors from green to other colors, that means the soil of that place is already polluted. The waterbed is already polluted.
Interesting.
Then when you see waste always being moved out in drums, in bags, and you can't really pinpoint what is being produced there, then all of that should raise...
interesting.
Yeah, so all of that, people can always draw attention of the NDLEA to solve things. And fortunately, we have a toll-free line now that people can always reach and give information. That is our 0800 10 20 30 40. It's for those who are struggling with drug abuse to get help, and it's also for those that may want to give information to the agency.
These times of high fences, I know one house, maybe we'll go.
I don't talk on television like that.
Don't worry.
Just give that to me off.
Don't worry, I'll give you. I wanted to ask, in the past, what we used to see when they bust, drug areas like that, especially those Delta, Bini bust, you lose some of your officials in, there's always, collateral damage. Some of your officers, in fact, there was one raid we took in the papers about 4 years ago. The entire officers on that team were killed. And I'm looking at maybe these people now strategized and said, okay, let's come and do plain sight hiding, like Tope talked about, come into communities. Is there a change in their strategy, or does that one still obtain? And then how have you decided better protect your officers?
Thank you very much. Let me quickly answer that. One of the things General Mara did when he came in, don't forget his background as a general in the Nigerian Army, was to strengthen the firepower of the agency by bringing on what you call strike force. The strike force is an elite unit of the agency, well armed, well trained, to be able to give cover for our men on the field. And in the case of Ikorodu and all the major operations, you always have them there. And in the particular case in Ikorodu, we also, because we didn't want to have surprises, because when you are talking of an international cartel, a syndicate, they have quite a lot of networks, so we didn't want to be taken by surprise. So we also had to ask for some backup from men of the Nigerian military, and for those, for some of our media people that were there, they saw them giving ready at all the ends of the street with us. But beyond all of that, always our own preparedness for some things, you also see that these people, they also had to devise, you won't see them openly showing, their strength or what they are doing. They're always very evasive and always very sly. So, yeah, so that's why it makes it extremely difficult to be able to actually track or trail them. But then in this case, we're glad that all we do now is intelligence-led, and beyond that, we also deploy a lot of technology.
I have this question, talking about being sly and, being sleek. There was one person in that video who was wearing yellow.
Yes.
And when he kept saying, I'm a tenant, I'm a tenant. And a few of us, we hope that people that were not really involved were not mistakenly carried. Is he really a tenant?
Even the son had made a post that went viral, I think, over the weekend, saying his father is this, and I had some inquiries, and you see, there are some of these things we don't respond to immediately, just to avoid jeopardizing ongoing investigations. So when you see some social media posts and we don't respond, they are deliberate. Okay. We don't want to join issues so that we don't jeopardize certain things. And in that case, the man himself is a suspect. I'll call him a suspect of interest, who is cooperating with us and who has also explained his own role in the movement of those drugs. Okay. So people should not just, because somebody is saying, I'm a tenant, I don't know, don't just draw conclusions based on what he is claiming.
So, yeah, he might be a tenant, but he also might be involved.
I want us to, I have like 3 questions for you, but let me just start with one. There's a parent watching now and thinking to myself, how do these things enter our system? How is it through air? Is it through sea? And when it comes like that, where is it going? Is it going to the community? Is it going out? Are we like a transit thoroughfare for these products? Exactly. What's the entire flow on stuff?
Yeah, in this particular case, this was brought in through the IC. Don't forget, like I said, it is an international syndicate that, and in fact, because we work with our partners over there and we're able to keep a tab on some of the way they move this thing. And in fact, there were quite a lot of transloading, moving from one big ship to a smaller boat and at a point, even this was also moved through a fish vessel, fish boat, that kind of thing. So they try to move to disguise the content of all those things, but at the end of the day, I mean, everything is down. Now,
where is it going to?
Yeah, where is it going to? This, I'll tell you, is not for Nigeria per se. This, they will just warehouse it there, and there have been plans to move them to parts of Europe, Asia, even Africa. And let me not talk, so that I don't give out some details that are not necessary or that we're working on at the moment. But then they were actually meant for other parts of, you see, what they do is when they see opportunity to move them to a particular location, warehouse them like that, because that volume is high.
Yeah.
Something that's the biggest in the history of this country. And now from there, when they safely warehouse, then they start moving there. You can see when we got into that place, you see the truck. There is a truck there that they already loaded, I think, 10 travel bags.
Yes, I saw
those suitcases. Those are already being prepared for some export to some other parts of, those bags, yes.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll open our phone lines, take a few calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for staying with us. Go ahead, talk.
So I wanted to ask you concerning this social media question, that why are we destroying the volume of cocaine? Because, for vehicles that are impounded, they sell them, and pharmaceutical companies can use cocaine to produce drugs. And we have pharmaceutical companies here in Nigeria that why isn't NDLEA considering selling this huge volume of raw cocaine to pharmaceutical companies within Nigeria who are having to use dollars to source it from, outside the country?
Well, I think there is no need going that route yet, because we don't want to take chances. Let's say the volume of cocaine involved here, it's not something you can joke with or play with, toy with. They are better destroyed. One, even is not, we're destroying it here, and some people, like her question, some people are still raising doubts. Would some not escape
yeah.
into the shade. By the time you start talking of recycling them, then a lot of things will come into the mix. I think we need not go that route here. But then that's not to say that everything will cease. Don't also forget now that we do not just go after the suspects or the drug exhibits, but we also go after their assets. So their assets seized, like their bank accounts, their vehicles, their properties, all those things that they have acquired
What of the
with the
Jamaican?
proceeds. Yes.
Jamaican, you're going to...
Anything we can lay pin to him that is acquired as part of the through the process of this criminal trade will cease, and then to be forfeited to the government, and then that one can raise revenue and even bank accounts. They are quite well. I mean, so far in the last 20 months, we blocked over about 600 bank accounts. So that's a lot of a lot of effort there. So all of that at the end of the day, when they are finally forfeited to government, then they come back for the benefit of the public.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a question on Twitter. Let me just take it. He says, I'm not trying to rain on the NDLEA's patting themselves in the back, but if this volume of drugs came in, they and the border agencies have serious questions to answer. How many such warehouses across the country, since our ports are a basket? So how exactly, do this happen without stemming them from source?
Customs and all that.
Yes, let's also not deflect responsibilities. All of us, whether as government agencies or as citizens, we all have roles to play in this. It's about our country, it's about our lives, about especially even for as far as drugs case is concerned, the most vulnerable are our young people. These are our people. These are the future of the country. So let's not think, the NDLEA is not doing well, or this other government agency. It's about all of us. Somebody along the line would have been responsible, would have been part of the process.
Yes.
So why can that not, is that person not in Nigeria? Why can that not person give information? So let's not say it's not about government, it's about us, it's about our lives, about our future, it's about the future of our children. Because these are the vulnerable, these are the people these criminal elements are targeting.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have two questions. Usually when we hear about countries maybe like Thailand or the South Asian Asian countries, usually when foreigners are caught, there is life imprisonment, or eventually we hear that they're executed. With the Jamaican, what will happen to him? Do we have, can we prosecute him here in Nigeria?
Absolutely.
Or would he be...
No, absolutely. He committed the crime here, so he's going to be prosecuted
Fantastic.
here.
Then second question is, as often as there are drug busts and there's NDLEA, the American Drug Agency, constantly on these people's necks, what exactly are these people selling? Why is it making such a huge market? Where are they selling it to? Who is buying it? Is it just regular, the ones that we see on TV that we hear, small nairas, small dollars? Is this what these people are basing this business on? Is there something else that just seems so insurmountable for all the different agencies across the world?
Don't forget that it's a global trade. It's a global trade. So it's all over, it's something all over the world. Even in America, with its years of fighting these menace, they are still posing, there is still a strong challenge to the U.S. Don't forget, even with the best of technologies and security systems in place in the U.S., even right from Mexico, these people still were able to dig tunnels up to the U.S. border to be able to bring in smuggled cocaine. So not once, not twice.
Why do human beings need it so much?
Yeah, because of the money involved. The money involved drives them crazy, and they are ready to take any risk. But then what is good, the good news is the law enforcement, especially the drug law enforcement agencies across the world, were networking, working together so as to be able to break their back. The one that just happened in Ikorodu is one of such successes that is being celebrated.
Let me take this call from Bidemi. Bidemi, are you there? Oh, we lost that call. There's a question that's been on my head, and I'm asking this as a Nigerian, as a patriotic Nigerian, because I get really worried when our people are always so ready to condemn what government and everything. We know government has messed up. But I always like to look at the light at the end of the tunnel. I like to believe that things can actually get better. How did the Brigadier General Abuba Marwa, retired, how was he able to get his people to work? like the members of the NDLEA, the fact that there's a staff of NDLEA wear his red jacket with confidence and walk into bust and actually submit, use the cocaine, and actually burns it and goes home and collects his salary and is content. It doesn't sound Nigerian.
Let me just add this tweet to it because this is in line with Morel's question. Silver Squad says, what is General Buba Marwa doing differently that the agency has now become more efficient?
Well, now, let me quickly go back to last year, 2021, when he came. And one of the first things he did was to appraise the readiness of the staff, the officers and men of the agency, what's their emotional state. And one of the things he discovered was, okay, these people, quite a number of them have been stagnated for years on the same rank. A lot of them are being owed allowances, even those that died, their burial, entitlements or allowances, the expenses were not paid. So all of these, he was able to sit with a committee and resolved virtually all. In fact, at a go, more than 70% of the entire workforce was promoted. Yeah, now that motivated, God bless you, that boosted the morale of the officer. And then, again, something about leadership is this. When your followers see your sincerity, your commitment, your passion, then, and they know that indeed you are working for them. Like I just said off here that I was there on a trip with him in U.S. State Department where virtually everything he was talking with the U.S. government has to do with the well-being of the officers and men of the agency, the well-being of the agency, the progress of the agency itself, working for them, not about himself. All of that, these officers and men, they see, they hear, and they are motivated. So they are ready to go all out for you, like
everything can work.
Yeah, by Wednesday now, the insurance, he paid premium insurance to cover those that, there's people that have benefit. By Wednesday, they will be paid at the headquarters of the agency. So everything that accrued to them, they are being sorted, and so they see all of this happening, and he's working on a lot of other, even now, there'll be, barracks, there are processes to begin the construction of barracks. In the 32 years history of the agency, there has never been that. Yeah, all of that are being put in.
We have to run off. Thank you so much. I think let me take this final call. Ohoza from Dublin, Ireland. Good morning. Are you there, Ohoza?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm a second caller.
Welcome to the show.
I can clap too.
I want to respect to talk about that question. So why destroying those things instead of selling them to pharmaceutical companies to finance the NDLEA for their operations, buying cars, weapons, and all that? Because so that we're not wasteful.
Thank you.
Question.
I think
I
already answered that already.
I want to also celebrate you because, there are many agencies that are working,
we have to run,
don't have the right
because we have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so we have to run.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, but thank you very much, sir. It was a pleasure having you. We celebrate
Thank you.
We celebrate retired Brigadier General Marwa for his leadership, and obviously this all starts and ends on leadership.
Thank you.
For example.
Yes.